Jahanzeb, tell me what makes a successful PhD? Like, how do I know that my PhD program has been a success?
Okay, so I mean, again, I'm not a PhD yet. Hopefully, I might get it one day.
Yeah.
But it's going okay. So that is something which I can tell you. So I feel for doing a successful PhD or trying to do a successful PhD, first of all, I mean, you need to be curious, right?
Yeah.
You need to have this. You need to have this curiosity which is always burning inside your brain, right? You need to find things and look at things closely, right?
Yeah.
And that can only happen when you are interested in the project or in the topic which you are, of course, doing your PhD in, right? Otherwise, do not start a PhD. And another important thing which I kind of always tell to people who are trying to kind of ask me that do we do a PhD or not. I always tell them that when you have a long day, right? At the end of the day, sit down and think about a PhD program and ask yourself this simple question: do you want to do a PhD program, or do you want to do a PhD? I mean, if there is even a slight doubt in your answer, that maybe or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And even if you are not answering yes with conviction, do not do a PhD at all, because PhD can be really tough. It is actually a very, very lonely journey, as I also mentioned before, right? So you're on your own, you are doing your stuff, you are sitting in your lab, and then you have to figure it out what is happening with something.
How do you keep yourself motivated, and how do you keep your focus on what's important?
Yes, this is actually an important question for people who are probably going to start their PhD soon, right? So I feel it is really important to have a bigger picture in mind.
Yeah.
This is something which I really talk about a lot with people who are kind of applying to PhD programs, that you need to have this end goal in mind, or this bigger picture in mind, that what exactly do you want to achieve with your PhD, right? Okay. And another thing is that you need to be curious and stuff like that. But a very, very important part is taking care of your personal well-being, right? And with personal well-being, I mean that you would have to spend countless hours in front of your computer anyway, right? So try to come up with things which can actually interest you, other than your PhD program. Try to start a hobby. Try to, I don't know, I mean, do sports, for example, right? Try to indulge yourself into activities which can keep your mind refreshed, and because there should always be something other than work which really interests you. Otherwise, you will get burned out very, very quickly, I feel.
I remember when we first met at NUST, you did not look like how you are today. And
don't show a picture, man.
Might as well. But I still remember how we went on a summer break and you came back totally different. And I believe you started running.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are you still running, and how has that affected your life?
I link a lot of the good things in my life to running, basically. So I used to be a fat kid from the time I can actually remember, right? And I mean, it's okay. You can be fat if you like it. You can be fat. I have nothing against it. But at one point, I really did not like it, right? And that's also okay to not like being fat for yourself. I mean, you should not body shame anybody, but you can, of course, like and not like for stuff for yourself. So that was kind of an epiphany, right? For example, as I really like to call it. So so I go to my summer break, and then I had this one goal in my mind that I want to shed this much of weight, right? And I had been a sportsman all my life. I had been playing cricket. I had been playing badminton regularly, but it wasn't really helping me, right? Somebody told me, and that is my father, right?
Yeah.
That I need to get into get into running.
Yeah.
I remember the first day I ran 3 kilometers. I cramped myself up. I could not walk.
Yeah.
Then I later had to play badminton. I cramped myself the second time. And even my father thought that, okay, this was a one-time thing, and he would never do it again, right? But I came back 2-3 days later, and then I just started running. I just built it up, right? So day after day, small steps. I took all these small steps, and then by the time I knew it, in 3 months, I was down around 20 to 25 kgs.
Wow.
Yes, and that was,
Wow.
I had to control my diet and stuff and this and that. But the thing is that this again gave me this confidence in life that I can do whatever I want to do or whatever I put my mind to, right? And this is actually a very, very big thing to have this inside of you. True. that you can actually achieve whatever stuff you want to, right? And this is something which has been kind of driving me throughout my PhD journey as well. That the only key to success is consistency, as I see it. So of course, with consistency, you need to work hard, but you need to work hard consistently, right? By one of my advisors in one of my internships always told me that when you have to build a huge wall, you cannot really build the whole wall at once. You have to put it brick by brick, right? And this is basically just saying that you have to be consistent over a long period of time to achieve something, right?
True.
And this has transpired in every field of life for me, and it has worked wonders. So even during my PhD, right? I have this how do you say it? I have this marathoner mentality that I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for suffering, right? But as with any marathon, after 42 kilometers, the suffering will end, right? The same is with PhD. The suffering will at one time end.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. That's very powerful.
Running has helped me in so many different ways. I have a huge training schedule now. I'm also working towards a triathlon. So hopefully next year I do a triathlon. I've actually already completed my summer goal, which was a duathlon, which was this 60 kilometers of biking and then and then a half marathon. So and I cramped up twice in that particular adventure as well.